seconds for the stream to actually go up. So let me just refresh a few times just to see if I can pull it up.
Yep.
You can have the chat up if you want, but I'll probably watch the chat. There's the notification.
Yeah, I just got it.
Yep, cool. There we go. Right, I'm on the stream. I heard myself for 3 seconds. Okay, while everybody comes in, I'll just sort of give a rough... actually, there's no one in the chat yet, so I'll wait a few seconds. The background noise
Fishy,
might be...
is it a bit too early or not?
What, for the stream? Nah, everyone's going to start tuning in now and we can just catch up with everybody, but everyone seems to be flooding in now, so I'll do my general introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Formula Virtual Division 2, Round 1. I'm not usually your Division 2 commentator, but I think both the normal Division 2 commentators seem to have had a mysterious disappearance, but I'm here today with Freddie.
Yeah, I think Fishy's in New York, so I can't do it with him. Me and Fishy are your usual commentators for Division 2.
Yeah, okay, sorry, my bad. I thought we were missing 2, but we have one of our usual 2. So, hello, Freddie. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm alright. Had a good day. Looking forward to this all day, especially after yesterday, Division 3. I'm looking forward to it, especially with the F2 cars. Should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is quite new for me because I never have really probably commentated F1 cars, F2 cars, excuse me, before. I've only really dabbled in the F1 because I usually get just bumped up to the top of the divisions because that's where they lack the commentating. But no, I'm happy to see some Formula 2 action today. I mean, maybe you're a bit more experienced than I, Freddie. Do you know like much differences between the Formula 2 and the Formula 1?
The difference is obviously the cars are slower. You usually get to see a lot of battles. Wheel to wheel action is usually you get quite a lot of it. We had a lot in Division 3, so if you can carry that over, that would be nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I do know a little bit for, I'll explain it a little bit for the people who don't know, of course, as also myself, but no ERS in these cars. They are limited to 5 or 6 gears.
6 gears. 6 gears they're limited to. Also, the slipstream in these cars is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I've heard. DRS as well, with the slipstreams. I hear it's the way to go. And around a track like Bahrain in F2 cars, like, what's your take on that then, Freddie?
Well, I personally haven't drove around Bahrain in the F2 cars, but when I was doing some TT the other day, actually, in F2 cars, just randomly, quite a coincidence, you have to brake a lot earlier for turn 1, a lot earlier, and there's obviously much slower cornering speeds for a few of the slow speed corners. Also, if you get on the throttle too eagerly out of, I believe, turn 2 when you come in to the first corner, and then, I think it's turn 2, if you get on that throttle way too early, you're going straight in that wall.
Oh, okay.
If you don't manage it properly.
Some things to look out for then. Some, I think Death Corner, the corner transitioning from Sector 2 to Sector 3 might still be a common killer, although with the lower speed cards, I do not know how that's going to affect. And of course, Turn 10 is where we see quite a few things happen. I see a few people in the chat. Hello. We have hello, lads. Hello. Mark is greater than the rest of the grid. Merc. Sorry, not Mark. Merc is greater than the rest of the grid. I don't know about that one, Chief. Come on, Alpine boys. We have one UNI driver right now, Suzuki. And we have Jammy Go Vroom. Is there a Jammy? I do not... Oh, there is a Jammy.
There is.
In the Carlin.
Yes, there is. There are also a few new faces on the grid. One notably who only coming this season, Arrows to Valhalla. He's a new driver driving for Dams or the Mercedes F2 team in Formula Virtual.
Paranoid says, good luck tonight, lads. Yeah, good luck to the drivers, and of course, I think slightly aimed towards me and you as well. So, of course, I'll echo that. Artem says, "Help Corona crippling me." Oh, I think Artem has the coronavirus, so he might not be here today. I don't know if he's a Division 2 driver, but that is my assumption.
Artem is a Division 1 driver from Sadie, I think. Yeah. A few of the Tier 1 Division 1 boys here as well. As in Rally, Fraser Fishy, Suzuki, another new face on the grid. Young Shots, who was racing in Tier 1 Division 1 for Aston Martin last season, now in the high tech. He's very strong in F2 cars.
Yeah, you're going to have to help me with all the driver transfers and drivers who are new and old, because I've only just come in as a commentator myself for this league, so this is my first season, so I'm just going to go at it. Like, everyone here is the original drivers, but it's going to take me a minute
Bufferino
or two.
Phil actually was Tier 1 Division 1 McLaren. He's now Tier 1 Division 1 Alfa Romeo.
I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that.
He is just a general reserve driver. He made the switch just before pre-season, I believe.
Okay.
Ryan was Mercedes team principal. So there's so many new people. Pretty much all the grid is reformed. Only Yannick Sykes, I think, TTV Dylan Gaming, and I think that's it. We're on the Tier 1 Division 1. No, Tier 1 Division 2 grids last season. That's it.
Wow, so a lot of movement then from...
And not lots of new faces. Marcus is also a new driver. I think he only literally got signed about an hour ago.
Jesus Christ.
Because Red Bull did not have a reserve. And Fishy, I think he's in like New York.
Yeah, he is in New York.
Was like just frantically searching for a driver. Verify, who's just joined, is also very, very strong in F2 cars.
I have definitely seen... I've seen some of these drivers perform elsewhere. I've seen Rally, I've seen Jamie, I've seen Ryan, Phil, Arrows. Maybe not in F2 cars, mostly. I've seen most of these drivers in F1 cars. Young Shots, I've seen F2 cars. Dylan, Verify. I've seen quite I'd say about half the grid in F1 or F2 cars, but of course the F2 format's different. I think we're going one-shot qualifying, 12-lap sprint, 16-lap feature.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh wow, I utterly guessed the format. Oh wait, it's on the side of my screen.
Callum! Callum is going to be reserving for Ferrari today.
Yeah.
I did see that. I was just a bit shocked. When he came in the lobby, I just clocked it. Yeah, so we have Art looking really strong, actually.
Oh yeah, Verifying Young Shots is a pairing and a half from what I've seen. But of course, I've seen, I don't know how they add up to the rest of the grid, because of course half of them I haven't seen before. The other half I've only seen in F1 cars, so this is going to be interesting for me as my personal experience-wise and F2 learning curve, as well as I think entertainment-wise, as I think we're due quite a good race. But
yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, and on that note, I think we've only got 4 minutes till race start, and of course, there's no proper qualifying session, so it will be a one-shot lap, and then, yeah, because I usually commentate F1, so I usually have little energy into the qualifying, and then I have to go into the races a bit more energetic, but I forget it's one shot for F2, so I'm not getting the break.
It was actually... The original format, I believe, was 30 minutes and then sprint and feature.
Well, that's quite long, though.
So that took... I was actually rating Shiru's it took around. It started at 8, finished around 10:30.
Oof, yeah, that's long.
And it was very, very long. And one race, I think it was Imola, I remember, we had like 2 restarts because the game glitched and it finished at
Yeah.
like 11, half 11.
Yeah, I was about to say that the restarts must be killer because if you get a restart, then it's definitely gonna be a lot longer. But Fraser Fisher, I
Yeah,
noticed, has not picked a car.
he's got to pick a car, I just mentioned it. Yeah, so here we go then, I guess. 3 minutes till start time. I'm really
I
looking forward to this. It's going to be fun.
I
It's going to
just
be good.
checked the Discord. It was like a bit too early, Fishy Valentine says, and you're like, I'm not streaming. I'm like, oh, well, whoever is. And then Buffering Phil says, wrong mindset. It's never too early to get things done before time. I agree. That is my philosophy. Better early than late.
It's better to get it up 20 minutes early and then like 20 minutes later.
And then Callum responds to an earlier comment and Phil says, touche. I think we're going to start seeing drivers ready up now, though, as Verify
Here
is
we are, but
going.
Fraser Fisher's got to select a team. Dams.
I assume we're going to see I'm looking and trying to find the Div 2 race day and see if anyone's screaming at Fraser. Yeah, oh yeah, here we go. Fraser Fishy selects a car. Would be nice.
Yeah.
Let me just do my usual good luck everybody message because I forgot to do it earlier. And we are going to start in like 1 minute till a race, qualifying start. Is telemetry used in F2? I don't know.
No, telemetry is not used in F2.
Okay, oh no it isn't, sorry. I was talking about telemetry today with someone. So that's why I asked the question onwards, because I was talking to Phil about the telemetry tomorrow. Because I'm also here tomorrow for Division 1.
Yeah, telemetry is, oh yes, he selected a car. Telemetry is, Division 1 only.
Yeah, and I have to have my laptop next to me so I can look at all the sweet, succulent data that comes through. And oh my god, it is so good, honestly. Definitely.
I didn't see it last time.
Honestly,
have you used it in another league?
I used it in one of the literally there was a missing commentator. I think Matty Siski was out for the trial for the telemetry system, and I was
really?
I literally snuck, like, it was like, hey, I want in, and then they let me in, and then I was like, oh hell yeah, it was so good, honestly. More leagues should do it, but I think we are going to go in now. So enough of me.
Yeah, we're going.
Gassing about telemetry system.
I think. Wait, it's like TAS, isn't it? And I think it costs like money. I think it costs
It's
like
€1 per
€1
race.
a race. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if your league is as big as this, I know I'm in some bigger leagues.
Yeah.
Definitely, it should be worth it. I might actually DM a few leagues and recommend it, but of course, they need to make the revenue in return, so we'll have to see how that goes. But we are now going to go into the one-shot qualifying.
Yeah, I think there's like a PayPal and it's going towards it. I think people that go.
Yeah. Right. Hello, everybody who's just tuned in. We are just about to go into the one-shot qualifying, which we can't really commentate because we can only really look at one person at a time. So I'll probably just look at the time screens and go off that, because it's really stupid how you can only watch one person's one-shot qualifying. I think they should
And it
just
always
do it.
takes like there's like a little
loading window.
Yeah.
They should just do it so that with the commentary you can see the ghosts of everybody on one track. Honestly, not for the drivers, not for the drivers.
Oh, here we go.
But for the commentators. But we're going now. I'm gonna try and get to Verify just because he's at the top
I'm
right
on
now.
Verify.
Lots of shuffling around the back. Maybe people not driving in a straight line. Of course, driving in a straight line is the optimum. But Young Shot's getting it round, braking through the corner, but drops it quite a bit. Verify is fading down the list. Bufferino Phil's up
Oh,
into
nice.
P2. It's, oh my god, it's so hard to commentate over this.
It really is because everyone's just shuffling at once. It's an art 1-2 at the minute.
It is an art 1-2. I mean, Jammy in the ranks P4 with his teammate Marcus.
Oh,
Jammy
Young Shots had a
climbing,
bit of a moment
climbing.
there.
Oh, Verify spun it into one of the Aramco signs.
Oh,
Into
ho,
the
ho, ho.
polystyrene.
That's not going to be good for him.
We'll have a look at Young Shots then as he's coming through turn 10 now. Nice and easy in the F2 cars compared to the F1 cars because the braking zone, because of the slower speed. Everyone on the medium tyres, of course. Another thing I don't really understand of F2 is the tyre strategies. So you might need to help me out with that a little bit
I can
today.
help you. I think on when you do F2, the last race I've done F2 Austria. I think. Oh, Young Shots has invalidated his lap.
I did just catch that. So Jammy is technically in first place right now. He's just got to hold it. Jesus
Hold it.
Christ. Bufferino Phil, it's literally the last corner. He's just got to get a good corner compared to everyone else. Callum moves up to P2 over Bufferino Phil. Bufferino Phil and Callum having a little bit of fight for time. But it's Jammy,
There we
then
go.
Bufferino Phil, then Callum, then Suzuki, then Rally, then Dylan, then Arrows, then Ryan, then Yannick, then Marcus, then Verify, then Fraser, and then at the back, because of invalidated lap times, you have Verify. Jesus
Young
Christ.
Shots, I think.
No, Young Shots. Was it Young Shots?
Yeah, it was Young Shots.
Oh, sorry. Young Shots Verify. Wrong way round.
Look at not doing good at all. But then this is obviously only qualifying. I believe the last F2 race I've done, the sprint race is usually no stops.
Yep. Everyone usually goes for a one-stop sprint. Well, no-stop sprint, sorry, because there is
A no-stop sprint.
no mandatory pit stops.
Also, in the feature, there is one mandatory pit stop. The strategies I saw at Austria were a soft to hard. Obviously, this is Bahrain, so the mediums probably look good here. Maybe a soft to medium strategy. I don't know.
I don't know how the tyre deg works on these cars. So.
Yeah, neither actually. I don't.
So it looks like blue skies for Bahrain. No rain on the horizon, so it's going to be a dry sprint race. We have Jude in the chat saying yes, Jammy. For other reasons, I also say yes, Jammy. I know Jammy's been practicing a lot about Bahrain because he's in 2 leagues, and he has I think he is 33rd in the world around Bahrain in F2 cars.
Yeah, he is.
Which is a
He's
flex.
like Raphael.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a formation lap, but I'm going to prepare. No, there is a formation lap, thank God. Right.
Here we go then.
Right.
12 laps of Bahrain.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this track, especially with cars like this, Freddie?
The corner that we see Marcus going around now, if you apply the throttle too early or too harshly on that corner, then you're just going spinning into the wall. That's just how it works here. There's a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of spins here. Obviously, you have to brake a lot earlier, and the exits of the corner you have to get on the throttle a lot slower because.
Oh, who was that? Yannick going wide. Sorry, keep going.
It is. It's quite easy to lose these cars actually when you're going at slow speed. If you just slam on the throttle, then you're just gonna go spinning. So it's really just an opportunity. It's really just a race of who can keep it out the barriers, who can keep the car facing the right way.
Oh, I think that was Ryan going wide through turn 10. Also, Jammy somehow ended up at the back of the formation lap queues, so I don't know what's happened there with him. Probably a little bit of a spin somewhere on the track, which won't be good for his tyres.
It looks like we're going to see. Look, everyone's on hards, so it looks like we're going to see a hard no stop race.
Yes, it does seem like we're going for a hard no stop race. But yeah, tyre deg out here. I think the hards will definitely last 12 laps. Of course, 12 laps. 100%. I always feel the F2 goes a lot quicker than the F1. I guess it's because it's 2 different races. But
Yes. Oh, yeah. Um, it's just gonna be an action-packed race. Obviously, with the reverse grid as well, we have the slower drivers at the front
oh,
and the
true that.
faster drivers at the back.
So we should probably have our eyes on the back at the start of the.
So really, it's gonna be for the people at the back. Jammy, championship contender, probably looking to get that championship. Verify as well, probably looking to get the championship. Young shots as well. Everyone's obviously going for the championship. But it's just going to be so exciting to see all these drivers line up on the grids, and let's just see what they can do.
Yeah,
Obviously,
definitely.
one wrong move, and you're going spinning. That's just how it works.
Right then, I guess I'll take you around for our first lap, and I do see a bit of a conflict happening in the chat right now, but I have more important things to focus on. But
Let's do that.
let's have a look then. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4, and for first time today, it's lights out and away we go around Bahrain in F2 cars. Who is that off the start? Marcus getting a really good start. Jamie already up 2 positions. Youngshot's also climbing from his disqualification in the qualifying session. Arrows and Rally shifting places. It's all a bit... Oh, and that's Dylan spun round through turn 2 or turn 1. Hard to tell. I guess that little bit of intersection. Suzuki is also... I think that might have been Suzuki, and I think, yeah,
It
Dylan and
is, yeah.
Suzuki both got spun round, but that's Suzuki at the back there. Verify over Dylan. I think Dylan might have a little bit of wing damage. I know definitely Suzuki does, because I definitely saw some debris on the track. That is Ryan over Rally, having a little bit of fight, but I think, actually, Rally is going to get the position, because he gets the inside line, although that's Jamie looking at the both of them going through turn 10, back now responsibly. Now there's a little train of 4 cars, Young Shots, Jamie, Ryan and Rally, all sort of going at it now. I think there might be a little bit of a movement over this straight. I think that was Ryan trying to get a move done on Rally, but he couldn't.
TTV didn't go goes wide at the back.
Okay. Oh, who's that? That's a yellow sector. That's Yannick off the track. Probably victim to the death corner is my likely assumption, but Jamie and all those drivers, other than Suzuki, inherit 1 position, which will definitely be helping for the points. Ryan now, trying to go, that was Young Shots, trying to go around the outside of Jamie, but ends up losing time to it because he went off the track. Verify now, everyone's going to come across the line for the second lap of the race.
Here we go then. Marcus still leading the race after 1 lap, as there goes Rally on Ryan for P3 in this race, as Suzuki gets a 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. There's Jamie! Jamie has spun and hit the polystyrene blocks. He's going to come back onto the track. He hasn't lost any wing, but that's going to put him back down in PN.
Ooh, not good for Jamie there.
There's a little battle here going on between Callum and Fraser Fishy. Fraser Fishy looks to make the move stick, but Callum's going to be looking to fight back on the corner where he spun in Div 3 yesterday. Is he going to fight back down the inside at the hairpin? They make contact going into the corners as we have a yellow sector 2. That's Yannick, who is out of the race. Fraser Fishy's obviously going to get the inside line going into turn 10.
Safety car.
He makes the move stick as we have a virtual safety car. Marcus 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think Yannick just retired in a weird place where it is a virtual safety car, but not a full course SC. So I think we are just going to see a little wait out period. I think Dylan also pitted onto new tyres, and so did Suzuki for a wing change. They pitted onto new hard compounds while I was just wrapping up the first lap. But it's going to be, I think, quite a little bit of slowdown for the drivers, and hopefully no one picks up any penalties. Yeah, of course, Jamie's spin. I didn't quite catch it, but that's the end of the VSC, and that's a drive-through for Young Shots for speeding under VSC. I knew it was going to be happening, and here's DRS on lap 3 of the race. Young Shots gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane to serve his drive-through. I think Marcus also has some penalties from the previous laps, but Fraser also entered the pit lane, probably for wing changes. I don't see them making any tyre changes. But Your leaders in this race now, Marcus, Arrows, Rally, Ryan, Verify are your top 5. Bufferino, Phil with the 2-second gap to Verify. However, the top 5 is rather close to each other, within about 3 seconds. Of course, Rally now actually. Sorry, Arrow's pulling a gap to Rally. Jesus Christ, and they said that the wrong way around. Callum over Bufferino, Phil. Bufferino, Phil, I think, is actually off the track.
Yeah, he's in the gravel.
Oh, he is in the gravel. I don't know if that was a similar, because it was definitely a similar place to what happened to Jammy, but I don't know entirely what happened to Jammy. As Arrows actually makes the move first place with the DRS, with the slipstream, but it's going to be side by side into the next corners, but Arrows has the inside line, and he makes the move stick, because usually we see a few switchbacks around those corners, as the inside line around there is quite powerful, but Arrows makes sure to cover his options, and that's Marcus, Jesus Christ, getting really close to the back rear end of Valhalla there, as it was sort of a slowdown through the corners, maybe some incidents to happen there, but
Suzuki in the gravel.
Yes, I think we're going to go on to lap 4, and I definitely see a few battles evolving in this map as as I see Marcus.
We're going to come on to the 3rd lap now, and Marcus is fighting back at Arrows. Callum sets the fastest lap. Marcus is back in the lead of this race, and Arrows is going to get another DRS. Is this going to be a battle we're going to see all race? Arrows going to have the inside line, Marcus is going to have the outside. Can Marcus make it stick? No, he cannot. It's a beautiful move by Arrows. Marcus obviously with the, I believe, 3-second time penalty?
I believe it is. I can just quickly check for you. Yes, it is 3-second time penalties.
As you have Ryan trying to fight back at Rally, maybe a little bit late on the brakes and nearly ran straight into the back of him. Verify also behind Ryan trying to get past. As Marcus is going to look to get DRS, he almost loses it coming out of turn 10. The big DRS train though, between Verify, Ryan, Resolute and Marcus. Through this corner where Arrows originally overtakes him. Oh, Arrows almost loses it. Coming out of that corner, this has allowed Marcus to retain that gap. Marcus runs a little bit right again, but Resolute is starting to gain on Marcus. Ryan is losing touch with the drivers as Verify is also closing in on him. As we have a sector 2, and that is Dylan, I think. That is Dylan who has spun. And, wow, as we're going to come on to the 5th lap now, I believe. As Resolute, Verify going down.
Verify right now, I've just been looking at a few statistics while you were talking. Verify up the most positions, P5 right now. And that was Rally going for the move on Marcus down the inside. And he's definitely going to cover off his inside into this next corner. But Marcus is going to have DRS down the straight. But will it be worth it? And I think it might be, because it's looking side by side on the time screen, and it is. But Rally just gets the inside line, maybe a little bit by force there. But nonetheless, he's got inherited P2. Marcus, Ryan, and Verify all really close to each other now with this little bit of a train. I think Arrow's actually having a little bit of an issue through some of those corners, maybe a bit too early with braking. Not helping there. Marcus now, another 3-second time penalty for him, especially with the cars at the front being this close. Not helping, but Marcus defending from Verify pretty well, but Verify gets a good corner. They all have DRS. It's a DRS train. But the slipstreams, of course, being quite powerful, it's kind of 3 abreast, and that was nearly the nose of Marcus spun around. But Verify gets ahead of Marcus, and maybe he was trying to make a move on Ryan through that corner, but now we're around into Death Corner, out of Death Corner, in safe territory now. But Ryan, right now, looking for a move on Rally, but that gap is ever growing, so these two, I think, might just speed their way into oblivion. But Verify actually might make a move down the main straight, so I'll keep on this just for this straight. But there might be a few overtakes down this main straight, but I think Verify is the closest and most probable. That is a Suzuki off in Sector 1, and that was Verify moving on Ryan. And Ryan fighting back with the late break, but Verify gets the inside line. But Ryan has the inside line for the next corner, but Verify now going to have DRS up this next little bit of straight.
Yeah, and that was a really nice battle there. Ryan also had DRS from Rally, who's slowly losing touch with, as Rally looks like to be, I think, the fastest man on track, as he is catching the back of Valhalla by a lot. Is he maybe going to shape up a move into the hairpin? Yes, he is. Is he going to make it sticky? Probably shunts him a little bit off the track there, but Arrows gets the better exit, and he's going to keep the lead of the race coming into turn 10. Is Verify going to go for a move? Verify touches the back of Ryan and almost spins out there, as Arrows is trying to break the slipstream. Verify's obviously too far back to maybe make a lunge down the inside. Marcus 6 seconds, I believe. Rally is really closing in on that damn car. He's going to go for the lunge down the inside here at this corner. Arrow's gone for the switchback? Oh, what a move by Arrows there, who's obviously in front. Maybe a little bit too late of a break, as they're going to be side by side coming into the last corner now. Or no, we're not. As this battle going on, Ryan is actually making a gap to Verify, and is keeping with the two. As Rally is going to go side by side, and he's going to get the move done on the straight ever. Here comes Ryan, maybe trying to take the lead of the race around the outside. Here comes Ryan. He's P2, Ryan, but he's going to get DRS on Resolute. Here comes Arrows, though.
Yeah, that fight, Jesus Christ, it lasted for a fine bit straight. And now Ryan's got his nose in there. It might be 3 abreast into this corner. No, it's definitely 2 abreast, though. Arrows and Rally really going at it. Ryan hitting the positions there because they're fighting too much. Ryan, though, nice clean through the middle of them, too. Thank you very much. I'll be having that position. The Rally, really aggressive driver, but I think Ryan goes a little bit wide, and that's some front wing damage there. I was going to say...
What is happening there?
I was going to say, going up to turn 10 also, last lap I saw a little bit of front wing damage happening here, and there seems to be some more evolving. But because Ryan got that little pied like the Red Sea there, but Ryan's been shutting down all these positions because they've been so aggressively fighting. It was 3 abreast into that corner. It's still 3 abreast. Verify has to back off, though. But Arrows and Rally and Ryan really pushing each other to the limits now. Really aggressive driver. Well, not aggressive. Really passionate drivers, I'll say, for a lack of a better word. Rally, I know, definitely is a nice, like, challenging driver. I don't mean aggressive as in bad. I mean aggressive as in, like, bold and all those good connotations. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone on that, but that is how I would usually say. But this DRS train is going to continue. I think actually Verify might try and make a move. But no, that's Marcus trying to make a move. Here comes Valhalla.
And I'm going to take it away from here for this lap. As we speak, we have 4 laps left of this race. Ryan is in P3, but with a 3-second time penalty, that could put him all the way down to P7. As if the game won't let me chase Valhalla's got through, and he's going to start chasing down Resolute, who is just looking on the pace today, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I was just about to say this seems to be very, very close racing. A lot of the field.
The battle between Ryan and Valhalla is looking like an aggressive one as Ryan barges his way past. Here comes Valhalla down the straight. Oh, there's a lot of contact there, as Ryan is not going to have DRS, but Verify is. This is an amazing battle for the podium places as you speak, and Verify is just trying to sneak past. He just can't get there though, as Valhalla is losing a lot of time to Rally, who is just out in front at the minute and plain sailing. He's on his own race, but as soon as someone gets a penalty, Ryan's just got another penalty. That's 6 seconds now added to his race time. As soon as someone within that top 2 gets a penalty, it changes the race forever, as Rally is looking like the race winner at the minute.
Yeah.
As Ryan's... Oh, Rally's pitting! Oh, no, wait, I just got jinxed. Oh, I just got
these,
Oh,
these
I
drivers,
just got jinxed.
they do like the quick dummy. As that's Ryan making a move up the straight. And I think that's also, I think, Verify trying to go in between the two, but gets shown a little bit
Oh,
wide. And
lots of contact.
Arrows trying to thread the needle. There's a lot of contact. This racing's definitely a lot closer. It's definitely closer. It's this front lot very close, and maybe it could be a bit more contactless racing. But I think maybe,
Ooh, something.
ooh,
Ooh,
yeah, two drivers pushed wide there. Ryan, Dylan,
there goes
everyone picking
Verify.
up penalties.
Verify's gone. Verify spun.
Oh, Verify's gone?
Yeah, he spun. He
Oh,
spun.
he is. Oh, damn. Yeah, Verify's down. But yeah, this seems very close at the front, but there's definitely still the stragglers, and I mean, the fighting could definitely be a lot more less contact. But of course, I think it's
Mhm.
the first race, and I think some of these drivers are more used to the F1 cars, so we can maybe cut them a little bit of slack because, of course, these cars have
Yeah.
less downforce, less speed, but so therefore less downforce. Um, and it's all new to these drivers, so we'll cut them a little bit of slack. But I think that this racing actually so far has been some quite good quality up the front, and Rally now is literally just soared away from the rest of the pack, which is
Yeah, he
definitely
has.
what you want in F2. You can just sort
Yeah.
of go and get a gap. But of course, this grid started out as a reverse grid, so this won't be your F1 and be your qualifying position. This is
Yeah,
just an
yeah.
extra points race.
Yeah, I believe the feature race is your actual qualifying position. Obviously, it is. But I honestly did not expect Rally to be up this high. He was one of the few drivers I expected not to be up here, and surprisingly, he has. And I do not know where he started. Obviously, that could determine. I think he started around P5. The two Collins also up here as Ryan makes a late lunge down the inside of Valhalla, and Ryan's going to get very unlucky with these penalties, as, like you said, Rally is just plain sailing. Um, are we going to see a few moves from the Carlin team? Is Marcus going to get out the way for his teammate Jamie? It doesn't look like that's going to happen at the minute. Obviously, Jamie's not closing in. Obviously, a very fast driver in F2 cars. Here comes Ryan down the inside at turn 10, leaves Valhalla basically no room as they're going to go wheel to wheel. Ryan as DRS, who's going to be the faster man, as the two Carlins have swapped positions. Ryan is ahead. And this is quite a feisty battle we're seeing here. But all while these are battling, Rally is just cruising out in front. And Jamie is now up into P4 and will probably get on the podium. The two art drivers, I'm going to be honest, not having the best of races. Bufferino Phil having a good race, so same as Callum, who will probably be bumped up as we have a massive train, P2 down to P6, as now I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, I mean, definitely this front is really close, and the penalties, you really don't want penalties here, as I think that's Valhalla trying to go side by side. A little bit of wheel bang in there, but Valhalla does get the overtake. And Jamie also overtakes Ryan, and Jamie might get arrows as well. Could be a sneaky double overtake, but down the inside line into the turn two doesn't seem probable, and Ryan even gets the position back on Jamie there. But Jamie doesn't have DRS on these two cars. Ryan also had DRS on Valhalla, so that's an easy overtake for Ryan. But Arrows definitely comes back. They both go wide again. That's like the fifth time they've done that this race. Closing the gap.
Yeah.
Jamie sort of like just keep fighting, Carlin. Just saying keep fighting. We can get some decent points here.
Hmm.
And as long as these
Um.
two keep at it, then it's gonna be easy points for Carlin.
Yeah. While you was actually commentating, Marcus actually did make contact with the back of back of his teammate. I don't know
Ooh.
if he has damage, but yeah, he did. That's why he's fallen back a little bit. He actually collided with Jamie.
Although Jamie is
Just
actually
so you
side by
know.
side into this turn with Ryan, and it's still side by side. But I think Ryan is just in front and has the inside line into the next corner. So Jamie will be having to look for the DRS straight and the straights for his overtaking opportunity as we're going through Death Corner, just out the exit of it. We're all safe now. Thank God there's been no catastrophes. But Jamie, I
Mhm.
think, going to try and get a move done into the corner on Ryan, who's going to brake later.
This is so
It's
close as
so hard to
Ryan.
tell. Jamie had to back out there, I think.
Oh, his teammate, Marcus.
Marcus with a little
Marcus, Jamie's teammate.
love tap on the rear.
Marcus actually collided with Jamie. Maybe that's a little bit of saying, you know, if you do it to me, I'll do it to you. So that's actually made Jamie drop back into P6, which is not good for his teammate. The relationship down at Carlin is not going to be the best after this race. Ryan has got the move down on Valhalla, and if Ryan wants to get a podium, he's going to need contact between all the drivers behind Valhalla. And to be honest, as we're on the last lap now, Rally is set to win this race. It's been an absolutely brilliant race for him, and he's just cruised out in front, gaining about 3/10 every lap. It's just amazing. And I don't really get how the penalties work, I always get it wrong, but I do not know who we're going to see on the podium. But all the people, P8 down to P2 is all bunched up. This is so bad for Ryan, because he's going to get bunched down probably into like P6 maybe, and he is P2. This has been a great race. For Ryan, it's been good for Valhalla. Jamie has had an amazing comeback, I think, after getting spinning on like the third lap, I think. This is amazing, as he's going to try and make the move on Valhalla to get an extra few points. As Rally rounds the final corner, he drove brilliantly, and we've seen that. He's going to cross the line to win the sprint race. Rally leaves the session. Arrows is going to become P3. Jamie gets Arrows P2, Jamie P3, Callum P4, Phil P5, as Ryan gets bumped down to P8. And your final standings are on screen now.
I mean, also Youngshot gets 5 seconds for an unserved penalty, but I assume he'll appeal that penalty that he got probably, so that 5 seconds unserved will be removed. It was quite interesting. A lot of photo finishing battles. Jamie tried to make a few moves on Valhalla into the last 2 corners. No avail from that, sadly, but he still inherits P3 due to, I think that was Ryan going down all the way down to P8, and that's what penalties cost you, sadly. The penalties are just really, really, really dreadful, especially if you rack up a lot. That's why your track limits really need to be good in an F2 car. Of course, if you get shunted off the track and get track limits, that's a issue to report to the stewards. But that is just, you just got to know your track well around F2 cars. Of course, the lower speed should make that easier, but of course some drivers are used to the higher speeds. But it should be all okay going into the feature race, and of course driver of the day for the sprint was Jamie. I do agree. He essentially went from 10th to like 3rd, and then back down to 10th, and then back up to 3rd. It was quite a good race from Jamie, I will say. Of course, Rally just pulling a gap as well, so that's quite honourable from him as well. So yeah, great drives from everybody on the grid. Harris had some good fights. A lot of good fights from everybody. So congratulations, not just to the people on the podium, but across the grid. It was a pretty good race from most of the grids. So yeah, of course, we have another race to do. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But yes, your final grid for the sprint race was Rally in P1 with some battles early on. But some good racing to pull a gap. Arrows, of course, constant battles. He pulls in P2. Jamie with driver of the day, and just a lot of skillful driving from Jamie. Pulls in P3, and the rest of the grid: Callum YT P4, Bufferino Phil P5, Verify P6, Marcus P7, Ryan P8, Youngshots P9, Fraser Fishy P10, Dylan P11, Suzuki P12, and Yannick P13. And
action-packed race there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get the same in the feature.
Yeah.
Because that's where the big boy points come in. So hopefully we even see a bit more action. But who knows?
That was a good race. Maybe a little bit cleaner. That would be nice. As we saw, Division 3 yesterday was also a bit argy-bargy. But that's all. That adds to the action, doesn't it? So
yeah.
Obviously not good for the drivers. when they're getting penalties, when they're getting wing damage.
I
It's
saw
good action, but
yeah, it's good action, but it definitely needs to be sorted out a little bit. I saw some stuff in the chat which was essentially saying what I was saying. It's really good to have the close racing up the front, but it would be really nice if it was just a bit more contactless, so we didn't have so many contacts, because we definitely saw some front wings go, causing some people to pit and then just not gaining back those positions, as I think we're going to go round for another formation lap around Bahrain, this time with the feature race. So we'll pull up all my data now, and I'll have a quick look at tyres, and everybody starts on the mediums, because of course qualifying tyre. My tyre strategist expert for today, Mr. Freddy, what are we saying with the tyre strategy?
Rally has just stopped and he's reversing. Okay, that's a bit odd. Anyway, so you wanted tyre strategies.
I did want tyre
Some
strategies.
strategies we may see today are maybe medium to soft, obviously. I don't know much about the strategies around Bahrain, if I'm completely honest. But I think we could see a medium to hard strategy. I think that's the most likely. I think that's what we're going to see as mediums. They look like the quickest tyre round here, I think.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, yeah, the
yeah.
whole thing with me is they have the softs and the super softs, but of course they're like
Oh,
really
yeah, they do,
weird.
don't they? Yeah.
They're really weird on the F2 cars for like some reason.
Yeah.
The softs only last like 3 laps, and the super softs is like 1 lap or something. I don't know, but it's just a
Yeah, they
tire
are.
deck for the certain tracks.
The softs, I remember when I did F2, the softs last about 6 laps before they get really bad. So that's not that great. So Jamie spun it.
Ooh, Jamie's in the wall, and he's in a bad place, but thank God he's ghosted now. Oh, and he gets disqualified for
Yeah,
probably going the
Jamie
wrong way.
did actually spin it on the exit. But I'm excited to see what strategies we've seen, but I predict medium to hards.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna see.
I'm going to say I agree with you. Mediums to hards. We might see the odd one or two go from mediums to softs if they want to really make that
Yeah.
medium stint longer. But I guess it's just a matter of time. We'll see what happens as we see all the pack weaving towards their grid spots, and I will take you for the race lead.
Yeah, and as you're speaking, actually, just want to note that Rally is actually not in the game.
Oh yeah,
Our
he isn't,
sprint
is
race
he?
winner, his internet connection went. As you can see, he has the red cross. He's not in the game for the feature, so I wonder how that's going to spice things up. He's P5 as well, so mid-pack. He's going to be really slow going around them corners.
It's definitely going to mess up some of the drivers behind. So if any of the drivers are watching the stream, there is going to be some issues with Rally. So please avoid him to avoid any early lap safety cars. But I think we are going to go. So Jamie in the grid spot 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and for the second time today, it's lights out after a really long lights, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But Jamie has gotten away well. Callum inherits over Bufferino Phil. Arrows over Ryan, Yannick over Suzuki. Oh my god, so many position changes. Dylan up Bufferino Phil. Lots of fighting into the first few corners as F2 cars. Yeah, they don't really benefit off DRS too much compared to the F1 cars, well, 2021 cars at least. Callum somehow has snagged P2. Let me have a look at the position changes quickly. Yeah, Callum's up a few positions. Right, Dylan, sorry, is up 3. Down 1 more now because Bufferino Phil's coming back for his P3. Arrows and Young Shots and Art in general are not having the best of starts, but of course they are up quite a few positions as they did start near the back of the grid. Ryan also there overtaking Dylan and Yannick. It's a bit squirrely through turn 10, but Yannick does come out ahead of everybody. Verify goes over Ryan, but they are side by side, so we could see a little bit of a two abreast sort of situation. But it seems to be all clean from me. Yeah, it's all clean around the first lap. No major incidents. I mean, Fraser Fisher's down a second. That might just be to other reasons, but it could have been a little bit of contact, and I have no doubts that there was a little bit of wheel banging during the first lap. But your leader through lap one so far has been Jammy. No DRS yet, so I don't think we'll see any overtakes from Callum or Bahrain or Phil, unless the slipstream is that strong. And as soon as I say,
there's big contact between Rally and Dylan. Sorry for
it's
hijacking that.
fine.
Here we go then. Now they're both piling into the pits. Jammy, your lap one leader, Callum, is actually sticking with him. P1 and P2 breaking away from the grid, from the rest of the grid. The two unis. Ryan's going side by side with Verify, and he's made the move stick. How are penalties due? They're going to influence this as Buffering and Phil is spinning and just narrowly avoids the barrier. And that's all the drivers up one place again as Suzuki is on the back of Young Shots. Yannick is up into P3 as Callum is just going to try to stay in that DRS zone for one more lap until he can fight Jammy. But is he going to slip out of that? Is he going to stay? The Bradman himself. Arrows is going to come around the corner. He's going to maybe try get into that DRS zone as Yannick so he can fight next time. Here can Verify is trying to stay with Ryan, but the grid does actually seem to be spreading out a little bit now. If you look at it, Yannick is P3, Arrow's P4, as we can see. As there's no real battles coming into lap 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, Callum and Jamie just sort of trying to pull the second gap for DRS to be enabled this lap. And Yannick also up 6 positions. Young Shot's up 8 for the art driver who started quite far down, and Verify also gets the position over Ryan, although it seems to be a little bit of a battle into turn 1, but Verify seems to come off better. But no, Ryan gets the inside line, but Verify still comes off better. Maybe a little bit of contact there. I didn't entirely catch it, but it looked like contact to me, and it seems like they're just trying to break the slipstream, because the slipstream around here is really powerful. And Suzuki down 2 positions, but Young Shots for Art and Verify for Art currently up quite a lot, but Verify and Ryan are still fighting. I look away for 1 second and they're back at it again. Verify, though, with the later braking, gets the overtake done through the corner. It was a nice overtake at that. Coming into turn 10 territory now. Are we going to see any bold dives? I don't think we are, although actually Ryan does try and dive. It hits the rear end of Verify there. A little bit of a love tap, sure, to say, hey, move it, you're going slow. But no overtakes there from Ryan or Verify. I will just quickly jump to, I see, oh, who was that off? Is that Yannick? That is, no, sorry. I think that's Yannick. Yeah, that was Yannick.
Ooh.
Yannick is off the grid.
Did you see how close that was?
But, Jesus Christ, yeah, Yannick's already off again. He did it in the sprint. And he's done it in the feature as well, which isn't good for him. But I'm noticing here that Arrows and Young Shots now going at it. They're going to have a little bit scrap into the next lap. And I think the other people to watch is going to be Yannick and Fraser, as they're actually going to make an overtake now down the main straight as Yannick goes in front of Fraser, and it's going to probably stick into the first corner because it's before the braking zone.
And yeah, as we can see, Callum has fallen out of that DRS zone from Jammy. Here comes Young Shots though. Is he going to maybe do a lunge down the inside? No, he is not. It's allowing Suzuki to catch up to them. Verify is making a gap to Ryan, as we can see. He is closing in on Suzuki as well, I believe, as the Young Shots is desperately trying to get past Valhalla. He is the faster driver at this moment in time. But Valhalla doing some excellent defending there, as we can see. Places the car just right in that dams. They touch, and they make contact coming into turn 10. Young Shots is going to get that rear wing open. Is he going to maybe go around the outside of Valhalla coming into the death corner? as they like to call it. As we're going to see, maybe you never overtake during here, and Young Shots knows that. But here is a viable overtaking zone. He's not going to go for it. Verify is also catching up to Suzuki. This battle is allowing all the drivers to bundle up. And this could cause a massive DRS train like we saw in the sprint, I believe. As Jamie is going to come across the line and looks to be breezing this race as he sets another fastest lap. Young Shots is going to get the slipstream and the DRS coming down here. It should be a pretty straightforward overtake. Or are we going to see Arrows with another lunge down the inside? He is near enough, but he's not going to do it.
I did notice that Suzuki pulled out a little bit, anticipating a dive into turn 1, which of course is bold and it is risky, but if it does come out with no contact, it's pretty good. A little point of concern I've been picking up for the past few laps is turn 10 and the amount of contact we're getting through turn 10.
Yes.
Some drivers just taking the corner at different paces and of course sort of bumping rears, so maybe that's a little bit of area. Maybe the drivers need a little bit of a braking practice to do before the next race weekend. But as we are coming up to turn 10 now, actually, so we can actually see if my point comes true. But look how much later Young Shots is braking to Valhalla. Valhalla just braking extremely early, and it has been him for a few laps now. I'm not saying that that's a wrong thing to do, but I'm just saying that maybe there might need to be a little bit of braking drills done to optimize the speed through the corners. But close battles right now. Young Shots Valhalla, imminent move going to be made down the main straight, if not this straight, as we're going to see Young Shots literally on the verge of touching Valhalla, but he's going to make the dive down the inside, get the inside line.
Just
inside
a note,
line
Jamie is pitting.
Jamie is pitting, I have just seen, but Young Shots now with the DRS is going to make the moves on Valhalla, and I think that's Suzuki behind them also. Might go for another dive out like he did towards the end of the last lap. He tries. He's going to go for the dive around on Arrows, but Arrows keeps the position just because of how the line of that dive just sort of works out. And while you commentate this lap, I've been asked to check the race director.
Alright. Go on, check the race director. As Callum is comfortably leading now as Suzuki. As he made the move down, as Valhalla is fighting back. He's not going to back down without a challenge. As he spins! Valhalla has spun, and Marcus has hit him! Marcus has hit Valhalla as he spins, and Valhalla is definitely going to protest that as Bufferino Phil is going to go down the inside of Valhalla. Marcus made contact, and who's that in the barrier? That is Fraser Fishy, who just reset the track. I'm not sure if that is allowed. We have yellow flag to sector 2, and who is that? Verifier's got past Ryan, we've just noted. Lots of action on that lap. Bufferino Phil is going to maybe try and move down the inside on Valhalla. Is he going to do it? He has basically no space. Who's going to back out? It's not Phil. Phil is not going to back out as they're going side by side through the death corner. Bufferino Phil, what an overtake we've seen there. As Valhalla's not backing down. Are we going to see that in overtake of the week, I believe it is. That could definitely be a winner, I say. As Young Shots, is he pulling into the pits? Yes, he is. Callum, Young Shots and Suzuki pulling into the pits. Are we going to see Valhalla pulling into the pits? And so is Bufferino Phil. Bufferino Phil has decided not to pit, and he will take the lead of this race.
Yeah, everyone, I'm sorry. I was checking it for some personal reasons, and I was told to check it. Someone wanted to see it quickly, and I was also checking it for some personal reasons. I know I should have gotten the co-commentator to do it. I'm so sorry. Okay, it is an utter bro moment. Let me just change on the tires. It is looking like a soft to hard strategy. Well, sorry, I can't say. My mind is broken. The chat has broken me. Hards? No! Mediums to hards! Mediums to hard strategy, although Suzuki has gone on to new mediums. And of course, Dylan, who pitted earlier on, went on to the hard tyres. Bufferino Phil now. Actually, no, sorry, Jamie's provisional pole, but Bufferino currently right now in first place, and this camera angle sucks. Can we get a better one? Thank you. But yes, the field definitely a lot more spread out now because of accidents that happened at the last lap, which I didn't see. I'm so sorry, chat. I know you're angry at me about that. There's now, although I will notice because of pit stops, Youngshot, Suzuki, Verify, and Ryan. I think they're all in the same team. Youngshot and Verify for the R, and Suzuki and Ryan. I don't know what team that is because I don't know my F2 teams too well.
Which driver is it? Oh,
Suzuki
Dylan
and
retires into
Ryan.
bits. Suzuki and that is
Oh,
Universality, I think it's
I
called.
should know you and I. But you and I and Art sort of having a little bit of a midfield scrap with their drivers. It's sort of a team game now, I guess. It's just sort of slow it down. I don't know what their strategy is, but they'll be on the phone to their bosses as I think Fraser Fishy comes in for his pit stop off his medium tyres, and Bufferino Phil still staying out with quite the gap to Jamie, but of course that pit stop time is gonna come out of that.
It's a long time, that pit stop time.
Yeah.
I believe if you want to get your wing changed, the pit stop overall to get out takes like 20 something seconds. Takes ages. But Bufferino Phil leads. He's your leader at the minute. He's 17.5 seconds gap to Jamie. As do we have any battles as Suzuki gets past Young Shots. And in F2, I don't know, do you have to switch tyre? Do you have to, or can you
In
stay
the
on the
feature
same?
race, I think you have to switch
Do you
tyres.
have to switch to another tyre?
For the feature race, you have to make a mandatory pit stop one to a different compound, just like F1.
Oh. Okay, so Suzuki does have to pit again, which means the two arts are coming like lions down, trying to catch Callum, trying to catch Jamie, trying to catch Phil, who I wouldn't be surprised if he did box this lap. Yannick and Marcus both have penalties. Valhalla down in P10 after his spin, and Marcus also got the penalty, I believe, for crashing into him. Literally T-boning him and hitting his tyre. I'm surprised. He didn't even get wing damage. I do not think. But are we going to see Bufferino Phil pulling into the pits? Yes, we are. And I believe Jamie, he could come out P3. Or is he not? No. But Suzuki does have to pit again, so let's bear that in mind, I believe. As he almost loses it coming out. And I don't know about that. That's quite odd, actually. As was my prediction right? No, it was not. I misjudged that by quite a lot, let's say. Fraser Fishy Rally down, our sprint race winner, down in P12.
I'm so sorry, my camera work is awful. I've been told it by 20 different people. I have a running tally, don't question it. But yeah, I'm so sorry. That's all I can really say. I try to do better, but that is Young Shots spun around, not by his teammate, I think by Suzuki, but he does nearly hit his teammate. But he's now going to have some tyre issues. Of course, those hards, maybe flat spot. I don't know how ABS is in this league, but I know some leagues don't have it on, so definitely could be tyre flat spots, could be all sorts happening there. But Suzuki now and Verify having a little bit of a fight for themselves. Verify gaining, but I don't think it'll be enough to get the overtake done this straight. I don't think it is. But he will be looking down the main straight for his next opportunity, and maybe Suzuki could maybe do a little bit of team games here to slow Verify down the corners to get Ryan through, and Verify could also slow Ryan through the corners to get Young Shots through. It's so weird how they've lined up here, but I'm Jamie now, just sort of trying to pull that gap to Callum, and I've been told by the chat that Callum's only had 20 minutes of practice and he only signed in just before 7 o'clock today. So that is interesting.
I think they only had he had very short notice. He's doing very well for a man of short notice, let's say. I just saw someone go over that curve, and there's a battle. What a move by Young Shots down on Yannick, who's going to fight back with the DRS and the slipstream. Oh, Young Shots with a late move there. And they made contact going into this corner. I think it's turn 3. I do not know my track corners. I believe that was turn 3 as Marcus makes the move on Bufferino Phil. What a move that was. Bufferino Phil's got the switch back coming through these corners. He's just fearless. He went side by side through the death corner. He's going to back out here though. Yannick is made the move on Young Shots again. Verify. I don't know if he is getting slowed down as Ryan runs really wide that corner. Callum. Jamie is obviously leading out in front, but Callum, 20 minutes of practice, I'd say he's doing quite well. Verify, trying to close the gap to Suzuki as Bufferino Phil makes the move on Marcus again as Ryan gets a 3-second time penalty. As Marcus nearly makes contact with the back of Bufferino Phil, as Jamie is 3 seconds clear of Callum. And I still don't know with the tyre situation and the compounds. With Suzuki, does he have to pit again? I do not know if he does.
Maybe he doesn't. I don't know how F2 works. I guess they're asking the wrong person. But
yeah, I just don't know. I haven't seen it before ever, so I don't know if it's allowed.
Well, based on the fact that like essentially 99% of the field has pitted for a new compound, it's safe to say that it has to be switched to a new compound. He might go 3-stop mediums to softs, which is the only strategy I could think of. But
yeah.
with only 6 laps left in it, it's not a lot of time. As I think the main battles on track right now is Young Shots and Yannick's, and I think this is Marcus and Bufferino Phil. And of course, you've got this battle between Suzuki and Verify brewing.
Verify does have a penalty though, so that could come into the works.
Yeah, the penalties are definitely. You're gonna have to make me do some maths, but I think I have a C of X or something like that. I'm sorry, I absolutely butchered that. But he only does 1 shot of quali for his very short notice, apparently. But I have to respect that. At least you're practicing. I know some drivers who literally don't practice until the weekend. So yeah, but I think actually this is a 3-way fight now brewing with Young Shots, Yannick, and Ryan. It's definitely seeming to be so. And I think it's going to go down to the main straight, as I think that was Ryan, maybe. I don't know how he took that corner, but Yannick definitely took the corner differently, as Yannick's definitely going to get the overtake done on Ryan through the DRS zone. It has been done, and Young Shots is still P7.
Trying to get a move down on Ryan. He's going to have DRS down the straight. Oh, we're going to see purple sector, no. Yellow flag sector 3, that's it. And that is Fraser Fisher's DNF'd, and we have a safety car. And what is that going to trigger some people into the pits, do you reckon? And this allows Callum to catch up to Jamie. What do you think?
I mean, I literally just turned off the tyres, so I guess I'm turning back on the tyres. With there's 5 laps in it, I could see everybody pitting to softs, and I think this has worked out perfectly for Suzuki, who's definitely closed that gap to Callum, firstly, by staying on the medium compound. He was sort of gambling on a safety car, but it's sort of worked out perfectly for Suzuki, but all the hard runners, I mean, they won't be complaining for a set of softs, but I don't think that it's what they wanted, especially Bufferino Phil with just pitting only 2 laps ago. It's not going to be too effective. Suzuki just got a gift from God, says Cyber Show. Yes, Suzuki really did just get a gift from God, and God has answered his prayers, as I do think we might see Suzuki dive into the pits, maybe.
I'm going to see Jamie.
Or Jamie even,
we can see, no, it doesn't, no, Jamie's not pulling in.
Callum isn't pulling in.
Suzuki's
pulling in. Yep, he was going mediums to softs. I called it.
You predict it. And
Verify
how's that
stays
going to
out.
affect him? How is that going to affect him in the race?
Yannick pulls in.
He's going to hards.
Ooh, he could have gotten away with the soft compound, I argue. Especially
What's
on the
he waiting
safety
for?
car. Maybe it was a misinput.
Maybe. Callum, though, do you think he's got the pace to get past Jamie?
Yannick serves his penalty and goes on to mediums. Maybe the drivers don't feel confident in the softs, and maybe the softs don't work differently around here. Maybe the softs are too it's not the right compound, C compound. But Rally's also pitted onto the soft tires, but I don't think it's actually Rally. I think it's his AI. Jesus Christ, AI. As we are now going to be behind the safety car for the next few laps, but I think the safety car will be in at the end of lap 14 is my guess. I'm usually really good with the safety car coming in. So we're going to have lap 15 and lap 16 racing, 2 laps. Jamie's just got to pull a gap and stay with it. Callum probably want to be chasing Jamie.
Callum is definitely going to be in contention for this win. He has the pace because he stuck with him on that first lap, didn't he? He stuck with him for about 3 laps. If you're saying it goes in lap 14, that's only 2 laps. He can do that. And Jamie is under threat right now from Callum. This has not helped Jamie at all.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've just been enlightened. I do check chat. It's just I don't check it often because I have to worry about like 300 other things. Apparently, softs do not exist around Bahrain. You can only use 2 compounds per race. And for this track, it's only mediums and hards. So, yeah, mediums, I guess, was the only option if you wanted to go quicker. And I think, I guess, who was it who had to pit? Suzuki had to go onto the hards for the mandatory tyre change. So, he's sort of actually been screwed over in some aspects because he's now gone onto a slower tyre when everyone else would probably pit onto a faster tyre, although they all seem to be staying on the hard compound.
Yeah. And I'm just checking Division 2 race day chat, and I just realised I didn't know what track we had next, but it's actually Saudi Arabia, so that'll be fun. But obviously, let's focus on this race. Callum will be trying to get the better restart than Jamie. We might see some action coming into turn 1. Verify P3 after loose spinning. I think that was in the sprint race though. We have the Charouz Bufferino Phil P6 with no penalties. That's going to help him. The penalties of verifying Ryan are not going to help them at all. And if Jamie gets a penalty, I think it might be a different story. As I'm going to check the race director. Yeah, Jamie has no warnings. So it's not. He won't get free. He shouldn't get free warnings in around 2 laps. As we're going to see if your prediction is right. It probably is. All the cars bunched up. We're going to get ready for 2 laps of racing here at Bahrain.
Well, I mean, I definitely have I have a game I play. I call in the safety car as the safety car's called in. I mean, it's not that impressive anymore. But I think it's definitely going to be called in. As I think, indeed, the safety car is in this lap. Jamie, wanting to get a good start, is going to bunch up the pack. I always like to see how close drivers try and get to each other.
Yeah, look how close. Look how close Jamie and Callum is. And you can take away the safety car restart.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting how, sorry, I'm reading the chat, I just saw an update. But Jamie, I can't tell if he's gone yet. But I think he hasn't. He definitely hasn't gone yet.
He's gone.
Safety car's in the pits, and he's gone. Yeah, it's so hard to tell without the ERS, because usually in F1, they use the ERS deployment to go that. It's definitely too oppressed for 2, 3, 4, and 5 positions. But, got it a bit squirrely there. Oh, Jesus Christ, big clump of cars there getting caught up there. All little bits of contact. but that sort of helped Jamie in a way, and it's actually pulled him a gap. Callum's sort of bit now behind Verify. He definitely needs to get back in front of Verify. Actually, Verify has a penalty, so Callum is technically provisional P2. Verify
I suppose
probably.
Luke gets spun.
Well, Rally's in AI mode.
I don't know. He just resets track though. Did AI automatically do that? As that is Yannick.
Oof.
He's off.
Yeah. Jamie though.
Wow.
Well, there'll be no DRS deployment for this last lap of the race.
No.
But Jamie, by the looks of it, with no ERS, with essentially a 1 second gap anyway, so he would be safe from the ERS. He's just gonna, I think, he might just win this in style. As that was Yannick picking up 3 seconds for the multiple warnings of track limits and Verify. 3 second time penalty, so Callum's job, as well as probably Young Shots and Bufferino Phil, and maybe even Ryan, actually, no, Ryan has his own penalty. So Bufferino Phil, Young Shots, and Callum trying to stay in the 3 second gap of Verify to abuse that penalty. But it is lap 16 of 16. What's going to happen around here?
And we're on the final lap of this feature race. Jamie looking good. Verify, I believe, has 3 seconds, which is going to push him right back down the order. As Young Shots, there's obviously no DRS, so he's going to focus directly on that slipstream. And will he make the move? Yes, he will. Will he keep it? Callum's going to try to keep it around the outside, but he just can't get there, can he? Phil is chasing down Callum desperately. If Phil can overtake Callum, that's a podium for him. Ryan 6 seconds, Arrows to Valhalla behind him. We have Marcus now also on a penalty. Is Verify going to maybe try get a move on Jamie? I don't think it will shake the order up much. But it's a R2-3 at the minute. But with the penalties, obviously that's going to really shift the order up. We have Bufferino Phil trying to catch Callum. If he can catch Callum, that's a podium for him. As Jamie is coming through the death corner, are we going to see any late race dramatic spins? I do not think we are. Jamie coming down the straight. Verify can't do much. Suzuki with a 3 second time penalty in the last lap. That's unlucky for him. Jamie is going to round the final corner in that Carlin. Obviously being a Division 1 driver, coming down to Division 2, he's going to win the feature race. I forgot the word. As Verify gets all the way down, pushed down to all the way to P5. Bufferino Phil P4, the 2 reserves actually done pretty well. What's your take on that?
I mean, the safety car restart definitely offered a lot of opportunities for some of the drivers, such as Young Shots and Verify and all those sorts of drivers. But at the end, I think we knew Jamie was going to get the lead, and I think we knew from the start he was going to sort of dominate anyway. He's so good at pulling gaps, and I mean, it's sort of amazing how he does it. I don't know. I have so much respect for drivers because I honestly just can't drive at all. Hence why I'm here. But yeah, congratulations to everybody. It's quite clean. Well, it was a good race. Maybe not a clean race. There was a lot of contacts, but
there was
yeah,
in both races as well.
But yeah, I don't know. Do we do interviews in Division 2?
And then I'll check.
If we do interviews, you should probably invite them all. As I'll quickly recap your grid. Jamie coming in P1 with style through the sprint and the feature. Sorry, I'll quickly go to the feature race results. Sorry. Jesus Christ, sorry. Young Shots P2 in that. Callum P3. Bufferino Phil P4. Verify P5. Aristida Hala P6. Ryan P7. Rally P8. Suzuki P9. Marcus P10. Yannick P11. Fraser Fishy P12 and Dylan P13.
Yeah, it's looking like we are doing interviews. So should we do top 3?
Top three. Yeah, just top three.
Right, we're going to interview the top three. So that is Jammy, Young Shots, and Callum.
Can you bring them in for me?
Yep.
Thank you, mate. I just need to fire off a DM quickly.
Alright. Who shall we interview first? P3?
We'll go from P3, P2, P1. So, would you rather do more or less interviews? How's your interviewing, really?
I don't mind. I'll invite Callum now, yeah?
I'll want to do P1, so then I'll go P3, you do P2, I'll do P1. Just bring them all in at once.
Alright, Callum. I do not have Young Shots added.
I have
or
Young
Jammy.
Shots, so I
Right,
guess
invite Young Shots. I've got Callum. I don't know if I have Jammy either.
I have Jammy, it's fine.
Right,
Jammy.
can you invite Jammy? I'll invite Callum.
I just need to do so. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
Alright, as we're going to welcome our podium drivers, drivers you got on the podium. Podium finishes
yes.
as we come on. That's the first round done. As Callum is now in the party.
Who was it?
Yeah, we're gonna want Jammy and Young Shots.
Young Shots. That's it. Okay, I got them both. Cool. Right, they should be joining. I would just like to quickly formally apologise to chat for being horrible today. Yeah, that's my bad. I had a break because I had exams and stuff, so it's my first time back in a while, and I apologise for the bad camera work and a bit of everything else. So my personal apologies, chat. That was not the most visually nice stream, but I think we're gonna have everyone start joining. So I need to stop the sap story. Right, who finished P3 again? I believe it was Callum, correct? Or was it Young Shots?
Hello.
I came P3.
Okay. Wait, you were both, so there was two people talking, so who came
Callum
P3?
came P3.
Callum. Okay. Hello, Callum.
Hello.
Well, P3 then. How are we feeling with P3?
Not too bad to say. I jumped in I didn't know I was driving until just before 7 PM, so
Fair enough.
not too bad.
I mean, yeah, I heard about your 20-minute practice session, and I was quite surprised to hear that you actually you came on the podium with little practice. I mean, your race was just pretty rounded overall.
Yeah.
You seemed just to sort of stay in those higher positions and then make moves when appropriate. The last lap, well, in the feature race, sorry, because I have to state what race now, because I'm an F1 commentator. I'm new to F2. But the feature race you had on the safety car on the last few laps, did that really trigger anything in your head? Did you think, oh, maybe I should pit? Or do you think?
Oh no, I was just gonna stay out. In a way, it actually screwed me over.
Yeah,
because I would have had a solid P2.
Oh god, sorry. Keep going. I trucked something across my room.
And on the safety car restart, I actually got wing damage because someone sent it into turn 1. But luckily, I stayed moderately ahead.
Yeah, there was a big sort of clump up in turn 1. I did see that. That was unfortunate to say the least. Yeah, a lot of did you sort of get the vibe today that it felt a lot closer, but it was a bit too close to the point there was quite a lot of contact?
I'd say for the most part, it was good racing, but sometimes there was a few slip-ups and things like that caused incidents.
Yeah, I definitely. There wasn't any big incidents. It was mainly just a little bit of wheel banging in fights mainly. But I definitely felt that, especially at the start of the feature and then the sprint, the cars were a lot closer together, but maybe just a bit too close together.
I mean, I think it's better this way, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'd rather have
I,
a few little incidents than no racing.
yeah, definitely. But I definitely see that it can definitely infuriate some drivers. Just like little contacts that could just like mess up the rears or something. But I mean, you didn't seem to suffer a lot of those issues. But of course, you said you like the closer racing. I mean, who wouldn't? It's closer racing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think we were discussing sort of midway through the race that the next circuit is Jeddah, to our knowledge. How are we feeling about the first street circuit on the calendar?
Well, Saudi Arabia, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I mean, is it one of your favorite tracks, or is it sort of one of your no, not really tracks?
Well, in F1, it's a very nice track. I like it in F1, but I've never really tried it in F2, so I can't really speak for the
Fair
F2
enough.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, in F1 I think it's a nice flowing track, but of course in F2 everything's a bit slower, less downforce, so it could definitely cause I think a few issues. But yeah, congratulations on your P3 today, Callum.
Thank you.
I think I'll be talking to you tomorrow, but anyway, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Freddie, do P2.
Alright, so I believe P2 was Young Shots, right?
Hello.
Hello. So how did you feel about the race in general?
I mean, for the sprint race, I was at the back, so it wasn't the
Yeah.
best. But in the feature race, it was pretty good. I had Yannick just spearing into the side of me multiple times. But other than that, it went pretty well. Got the
Yeah,
P2.
have you got any comments on some of the collisions between the drivers, not with you specifically, but obviously there was a lot of wheel banging out there. Have you got any comments on that?
Well, it's probably just because it's the start of the season. A lot of people don't know the car, so they probably don't know where to like all the braking points.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a clean race. And how do you feel about some of the racing that we saw today? Did you like it? Did you like it? The cars being that close?
Yeah. Well, I like the feature race anyway. The sprint race, I couldn't really say much because I was at the back, but in the feature race, I found it quite good.
Yeah, that was good. Obviously the collision from the safety car restart. Was you caught up in that at all? Did it slow you down?
Yeah, it did actually because I got sandwiched straight in the middle of
Yeah,
both of them.
yeah, that was good. That was not good for you, especially obviously getting sandwiched through there. That obviously slowed you down a lot. Do you think you could have catched Jamie if that didn't happen?
I'm not too sure because he had quite a good pace after the restart. It would have been close, I reckon.
Yeah. That was. I think that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, and good luck for next week.
Thanks.
Well, then I guess it's time to talk about P1 finish in the feature race. Mr. Jammy, sir, how are we and how was that race?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, I won the race. I'm happy.
I mean, yeah, I know you better than some of the drivers on the grid. I assume that was quite a calm and cool, collected race for you because you just sort of was at the front for the feature race at least, just cruising.
Yeah, I kinda pushed so Callum doesn't catch me. Um, I had my strats, so I tried to gain with it, but it kinda sucked at the feature race. With Verify just going right in front of me, and I couldn't release in time, so I lost a few seconds, and then it was pretty short fight with Callum until I pulled away again.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I had it in the bag
Yeah,
already.
yeah, definitely. You had it in the bag, and I know you. You're quite calm. You're quite cool when it comes to these sorts of things. Especially the feature race was your race. Did the safety car all like panic you? And I assume I know the answer to that.
Well, I was like, oh fuck no, and all of that. Sorry for my language, but yeah,
It's okay.
I was literally like that. So yeah, I was
Slightly
really pissed
panicked.
off. I was pissed off, but I I just had to maintain the lead because there was no DRS, and I got the
Mm.
gap to verify, and just yeah, after that I didn't need to push much.
Yeah. Just a quick word of, well, let's just juxtapose that race, the feature race, to your sprint race. You had a few issues in that race, to say the least. I think your teammate actually spun your rear and nearly spun you round. Of course, like, I mean, you got some decent points in the sprint race. You went from like third to last to third again. Well, last to third to last to third, essentially. Which, I mean, you still got decent points for it, but of course, I'll ask you the same question I already asked a few of them, mainly because you were a bit more involved in it in the sprint races. I think it was definitely more of a culprit in the sprint race of, yes, the field's closer together, but there's definitely more minor contact, which can lead to just small things like people losing it, which then could lead to bigger accidents. Like, what's your take on that?
Well, it's of course some people going from F1 to F2, as like young shots say, like they have to get on with the car. But I don't understand all the like not leaving any space or just like literally bumping other around. Like Ryan didn't leave me any space to the outsider. He spun me. I got a little bit wing damage, but
Mm.
I just had to push and not give up. I just yeah I I was trying to overtake him. Yeah, he wasn't that clean in the race. Uh,
Yeah.
so he just were bumping and he was getting bumped out of the circuit, and like it was pretty crazy, the sprint race.
Mm.
Luckily it was the feature race was more calm, and
Yeah.
there was no
I mean,
at least from my side. Yeah,
yeah, I was about to say, you were at the front for all of it, Jamie. I don't think it could really be said too much, but of course I'll ask you as well. Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, street circuit in F2 cars. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, I probably gonna suck or something, depends on what how my practice goes. uh, but if you want a one guy that could win the race is definitely JDM. He's literally uh, just doing that circuit. I think it's his best circuit, so he's literally sweating on that circuit. So yeah, probably one of
Yeah,
the win contenders there.
but I mean, I think definitely you'll switch to F1 to F2. You seem to be handling it very well, and yeah, for that I congratulate you, and I congratulate
Thanks.
you for your P1 today as well. I congratulate all the drivers, not just the ones on the podium today, but especially the ones on the podium today, but all the drivers in general for a good race today. And do any of the drivers or you, Freddie, have any closing notes for the stream?
No, I think I'm okay. Like you pretty much covered it all. Yeah, I think you said pretty much all of it pretty well.
Any drivers? Or are we all good in that behalf?
We're all good. Well, I'm good. Don't know about the others.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm done.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say.
Okay, well, it's better to check. Thank you for that, for joining for interviews. You are free to leave. Um,
Bye bye.
See ya.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
See ya. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just give my closing word. Thank you for tuning into the stream, everybody. I won't be here next week, whether or not that's a good thing or not, hopefully. I'll be with you tomorrow, though, for your Formula V Division 1 around Belgium. No, oh my god, Belgium? Bahrain! My brain isn't working, okay? I've just come off exams. Right. See you all later. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow, but... oh my god. Freddie, we'll see you all next week for Formula V Division 2 around Saudi
Yes.
Arabia. Goodbye.